Okay, so just in case this works out, let me show you what I've got going on here. So I used this container to as a template for the two circle sizes, and I cut them out. So it's not a perfect circle because I guess the container was kind of wonky or something, but anyway, which one do I need to do first? This one. Okay, so now I'm going to okay, so I did that. I cut the two circles, and then I cut 14 pieces that look like this. So basically all I did was made a slightly narrow, well, basically it's just a shape. It's just this shape. It's started out as a triangle, and then, I mean a rectangle, and then I tapered one end down a little bit. The only really important part to this is that each of them is the same height. Okay, it's important for them to be the same height. But other than that, really the width or whatever doesn't have to be exactly the same. I cut 14 to start with. I may need more, I may not need all of them. So now I'm going to go through each of them and kind of bend them a little bit so that they fit around a little better. So I'm going to do that. There. If they could all do that, that would be nice. Okay, so I'm just going to do that and I'll be back. Okay, so now that I've got them all bent so that they kind of work with me a little bit easier, to start with, I'm just going to use a piece of tape, just regular Scotch tape, like this. And then I'm going to use a different type of tape later, and then I'm going to just assemble them. I don't know how well you can see this. Probably not very well at all. Okay, so I'm just kind of putting them next to each other like that. And letting them adjust to each other. Okay, I'll put a piece right there. Just gonna need a lot of tape. It's a similar process to the way I made my hat, my cowboy hat. But I'm making this up as I go along. Now, if you want to make one of these, you can make it whatever height or size you want. It could be tiny, it could be big, it could be very tall, very short, whatever you like. Oh, I'm putting them upside down. I'm putting them upside down. Okay, so I have to redo these two. I'm glad I noticed that before I got too far. Okay, so the non-tapered end of the thing goes around the rim of the bigger circle. Okay. So with that in mind, I wonder if it would be easier to go around the smaller circle first. As I said, I'm making this up as I go along, so I don't really know what I'm doing. Am I still recording? Yes, I am. Okay, so the tapered end is easier to work with for this stage, so I am going to go around a smaller circle and put them on the way that I was doing it. Just like that. Okay. Okay, and I'll put a piece right there as well to hold them in place. And like I said, we're going to do a lot more taping later on. Okay, so let's redo this one. So yeah, I might not need as many of these pieces as I thought I did. This is a little bit fiddly and tricky, but I think it'll be worth it. And if you end up with gaps like I seem to be getting here, don't worry about it. Because, as Teresa would say, this is a process. And this project will take a while. And we will fix gaps like that later. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to go around this and I'll be back. Okay, so for my particular project, I need an opening here, and I think that I want to hinge these two as if they were a door. Maybe. No, I don't think I do. But okay, so I would need, okay, so yeah, okay, I think I'm going to attach these after all so that you can see. Now, if you wanted to, what I'm making is a flower pot, but you could turn this into a bucket to make your bucket list things that I've seen people making for the different things, like, or for your prompts or whatever. Pick a stick prompts things and such. Or even to put your pencils in and such. But my particular one, as I said, is going to be a special flower pot when I'm done. Okay. And Okay, I have room for one more at full size, and then I'll cut one in half to close the gap. Okay. Okay, so actually, why don't I, let's see, let us fit it. So I'll put a piece of tape here. If it releases my finger, that is. Okay, and trim right there. And then put a piece of tape here. And decide if I want to trim just a little bit here or no, I think, well, maybe just a tiny bit right there. Just a sliver. Yeah. And then close it up. This could even, you could even make a bucket like this for popcorn for movie night or something. And then once you've finished building it to make it food safe, you would put like some plastic wrap or some a bag or something on the inside to keep it safe, because this is going to be mixed media and you don't want to have paint and glue and all sorts of things in your touching your food. But anyway, just a few ideas. And you could, like, if you were making it into a food bucket, you would I forgot what I lost my train of thought. Okay, so now my original circle is not the right size, so I'm going to actually use the bucket as my, oh, actually, maybe it is. Yeah, it is actually, because I want it to do this. Yeah, I want it to have like a little lip on the inside, so it is actually the right size after all. Okay, so now, can I get that out? Yeah, okay. Now, I think I need a piece of cardboard. Hold on a second. I'm going to use this piece now. Okay, I'm going to trace around this and cut it out. And then it doesn't, don't put that too far. It doesn't have to be perfect, because this part's not going to be seen once it's finished. I'm just going to sort of make a donut, or a ring, or whatever you call it. Okay, so I'm going to cut that out. Okay, put that aside. Poke a hole in the middle to make it easier to put the scissors in there. Okay, put that away. Now this part is mostly so that the part where the plant will go will have something to sit on. Okay, so it should look something like that. So that this can sit on and be easily moved. So I'm going to trim around it just a tiny bit. Just as Bob Ross would say, a hair and some air. Okay, perfect. Okay, so this is what I'm after, so that there's something easier to pick it up with. Okay, now I'm surprised. I'm surprised that this is actually working. I probably jinxed myself just then. But anyway, okay. Now I want to secure that in place, so use the tape again. Try and put some on the inside, but that's going to be tricky because you can't see what I'm doing. I mean on the bottom. May not actually need. It's pretty solid, so I don't think I'll need to do more taping, because I was going to secure it better with packing tape, but I don't think I need to do that. I just ruined it because there was one of them was there. That'll do. Okay. Yeah, I was gonna use packing tape to make it like really secure, but I don't think I need to do that like I just said. So what I'm going to do is put that aside, and I had 4 of them left, 4 of these pieces left, which means that I used 10 of this shape. Put that aside. I might need them later. I doubt it, but maybe. Okay, and okay, now does that go all the way around? No, it does not. I don't know if I'll be able to do it in one piece. I don't think I can do it in one piece, but it's okay, because the next step, the messy step, will work out okay. We'll hide the seams and such. So, in that case, I'll just... There's a line here. You probably can't see it. Right here. I'm going to use that to help me make a straighter line than I'm usually able to make. And And I think the width of my ruler is a good size for this. See, I just made it. Oh well. Me and straight, it just doesn't happen. Straight lines, I mean. The corrugate is going this way. And I think that's going to make it easier to manipulate and shape. If I'm not mixed up. Yeah, it is. Okay, so this way is easier to go around and, you know, shape it the way you need it to be shaped. Now, I just realized that I used the colorful part on the outside here. It doesn't really matter because, like I said, the next step is going to take care of that. Okay, so I do need another piece, just like this one. So I'm just going to use this to do that with and cut it out. That's just a piece of wax paper because, like I keep saying, the next step is going to be messy and time consuming and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to use some tape again to attach this to the edge. This is a fun project for me. It's fun for me to, well, for one thing it's cardboard, so you know I'm having fun. But it's fun for me to come up with things like this. Just kind of go with the flow. So the other day Franklin sent me a text and he says we need to find we need to build a little thing for the mouse, the book mouse, to peek out from. And then later on we figured that we should call it the mouse pad, because in some parts of the world you live in your pad or your bachelor pad or something like that. So anyway, we just thought it was kind of fun, and so I'm just kind of meeting here so that there's a okay, so I'll put tape there to hold it stronger. Piece of tape wasn't long enough. Okay, there, and then I'll secure it in a few more spots here, just to make it so that it stays where I want it to be. And then trim that a little bit more. And fiddle with it until it looks the way I want it to. Secure. Okay, and I'm going to go around in a few areas and put some tape again. the bottom. And maybe if I see an area like that, put a little bit more too. So I know that this is not the ideal angle for filming, but I don't really have a better setup right now. I'm hoping to get stuff rearranged and figured out so that I can have a better angle eventually. But you know me these days, I say that about a lot of things. I say hopefully soon, and maybe 3 years later get to that project. So no promises, but I'm hoping. Okay, I think that'll be good enough. Okay, so this is the mouse, the book mouse that needs a home. And so before I get too much further, I'm going to make the hole for him to peek out from. So this is going to get tricky, I'm sure. How wide does it need to be? Approximately that wide would do it, I think. Yeah, that should be good. So, wow, okay, so it needs to be approximately 2 of the segments wide. Maybe I'll choose which side looks. I think maybe, I think this, can't decide. Okay, I think I like this side best for the mouse to peek out from. So, how tall does it need to be? Well, actually, this is a pretty good height, so. Okay, so basically it needs to be 2 segments wide and just under the lip thing I just made. So, how am I gonna do this? We'll get there. I'm just a little bit nervous because I like it so far and I don't want to ruin it. I'm sure it's no surprise, but the batteries are flashing, telling me they're about to die. So I think what I'm gonna do is draw a little thing to go by. Don't know if you can actually see that. Okay, so I don't know how much it recorded before before the batteries died. So I just did a quick reference line with a regular pen to tell me where I want to cut. And I think I'm going to pull out this dollar store Dollarama X-Acto knife and slowly. Probably several passes, and try not to cut my fingers off in the process. And I know you're not seeing a whole lot. I wonder if I want to hinge them doors. Okay, do need a few passes. Wonder if I can do it with the scissors now. Just in case I do want to hinge the door, I'm going to leave that like that. For now. And maybe put a piece of tape there as a hinge. And then cut the other one. Okay, let's see if that's wide enough and tall enough. It is. Okay, now. Okay. I'll be back. Okay, so now what my debate is, you can see him in there. My debate is whether or not I want to make a little, a little hole for his tail to poke through on this side. I think I might. And I wonder if I want to make like windows or something. I think I'd better not do that. I think I will do the hole for his tail just in case he wants to tuck in. So it needs to be right about there. Okay, so give him a little bit of leeway, make it a little bit wider and taller and whatever. Okay. Now let's see, did that work? Yes, it did. So now if he wants to, he can close the doors and go to sleep. Okay. I need to make it closer to the bottom though, because he doesn't want to sit properly the way I have it currently. Okay, let's try that again. That's better. There, see? I amuse myself sometimes. If I do say so myself, that's pretty adorable. I'll be back. Okay, I hope I didn't water that glue down too much. I can't fix the ratio because I am out of glue. Other than what's in this container. Something tells me I did put too much water in there, but hopefully it'll still do what we need it to do. Okay, so here's the messy step. Basically, I'm just going to cover this entire thing with pieces of paper towel. I just cut up a bunch of paper towel pieces and I'm just gonna cover it all up. Oh wow, I did put way too much water in there. Like I said, hopefully it'll still do the trick. Doesn't look like it will. Maybe it will, I don't know. Okay, I need to bring that in a different place. I think I'm not going to do the inside. Well, then again, maybe I will, just to make it stronger. But maybe I'll just do some of it. But before I forget, I'm going to write the date. Which is December 5th today. That'll do. Well, this is Tuesday. I'll write in Tuesday. Okay. Yeah, just to make it stronger. I guess I probably will do a little bit on the inside. At least on the walls. So actually, why don't I do that right now? Because that's going to be tricky. And I like to get the worst part of a job done first. You probably can't see a thing, but there's not really much to see. I mean, I'm just gluing pieces of paper towel in. So yeah, I'll be back.